Okay, well, we're talking about the song Eternity and how it came about. And it was initially something that you had, Jamie, that you had laid down a recording of that Jeff brought home that I heard. And when I heard it, it just took me to a place of eternity that I didn't realize would become the thread of this whole album. And it was the nursing home hallway that I would walk down to see my mother and my aunt. And the night that I walked ahead of my aunt's body as we carried her out, the night she died, that hallway was empty. It was usually full of people that I befriended and holding hands. You know, the chorus in that song was about, as the young man is thinking about as he's dying, the hands, the smiles he shared, you know, those were all things that happened in that hallway, which is where those words kind of came from. I realized that I was just walking her home into eternity, but the choice is, and we kind of allude to it in the song, is where are you going to go? Where are you going to spend eternity?
And I guess my thought has been for a long time that I'm living in eternity. Today is eternity. Yesterday was eternity. And so there are two different types of concepts that you might look at with eternity. And then I thought forever is today. It's not at the end of a rainbow. It's not some distant thing far off. It's not far away. The theme is we've got a decision to make, and today is the day to do it. Today is the day of salvation. We have this state of being eternal because we're eternal beings, as God says in Genesis. You know, He created us in His own image. He's eternal. We're eternal as well.
You know, as songwriters, it's hard to be to write a thesis around our, you know, each song that we write, but we want to make sure that Jesus is the only way. That you know, John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, Jesus, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life." And I just wanted to make clear that we don't stop being as we go into eternity. When our bodies stop working, we go into eternity, and as we go into eternity, it's in a different realm. I think as Jeff mentioned, but it's also very real in that we are aware. And the key thing for me is I want to be in eternity with Christ. I want to be there with Him. Therefore, as Psalm 16:11 says, that in His presence is fullness of joy. I want to be able to experience that. So if you haven't yet received the Lord as your Savior, now would be the greatest time, because none of us know when we're going to pass away or we're going to die. So it would be a wise thing to make that choice today, even as the song says in the lyrics.
On the way to work one day on a cold and rainy morning, a little sleep last night left him weary and worn. He crossed into the other lane and it took his life away. He passed into eternity. So suddenly that day, the faces passed before him, those he knew and loved. The hands he held, the smiles he shared, we had to let them go. Forever is today, not at the end of a rainbow. It's not a distant kind of thing, not a place that's far away. There is room for us all at the end of the day, an echo from beyond. It's also very real in eternity. She didn't want to go there, none ever do. I just couldn't care for her alone, so I did what I had to do. The nursing home became a place to count our final days in a lonely and forgotten world. No one ever came. When the time drew near, we gathered by her side, singing, praying, whispering something in her ear. Forever is today. so far away. God said that it was so, and I pray you choose to go. Holding on to holy hands with nothing left to fear. Trust the Lord to carry you through the open door.